Hi, this is Yulia, the voice behind the podcast Love to Heal. Join me on a journey of self-discovery, healing, and spiritual growth. In this podcast, I will share with you my knowledge and experiences of how love miraculously changed and keeps changing my life for the better, and how it can do the same for you. It is my hope that every listener will benefit from this podcast and will spread the love, which truly does work wonders. In today's episode, I'm sharing with you an interview with Natasha Hawthorn, a certified functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, Pilates instructor, health coach, and more. Natasha is my cousin, and just like me, she immigrated to the U.S. from the former Soviet Union in the early 90s. She started out in Seattle as part of the corporate world, specifically Big Pharma, and after making a 180 with her life, she now lives in Hawaii, and she owns a healing farm, and she has become a holistic health coach. So enjoy. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Yulia.
Natasha has a really interesting story to share with everyone. And so I'll ask you, Natasha, a few questions because honestly, even I don't know the whole story because we have been living on different sides of the country for a while now. So we rarely get to see each other and rarely get to talk. But we do happen to be in the same
exploration of reality and learning what it all means.
Yes, absolutely. And we are both on a journey. I feel like I can say that, right? We're both on a journey of healing, self-discovery, and also trying to help other people while we're at it.
100%.
So my first question for you, Natasha, is what brought you to Hawaii? Obviously, you were not there the whole time. I've mentioned in my podcast that I am from Russia, and so are you from the Soviet Union.
Yep.
And our family immigrated first to Ohio, and then we lived in Seattle for a long time, and now finally you're in Hawaii. So tell us the story of how you got there.
Yeah. Well, I did move with my ex-husband from college to Seattle and had a great life there, planted roots and everything like that. And Seattle weather is not the best in the winter. So every winter we would plan a vacation to somewhere warm like California, Hawaii, Mexico, things that are close to the West Coast. And over the past about 7 years, I started to create a vision for myself where I would end up living in a warm tropical place just to keep my physical body comfortable because I was literally cold and uncomfortable in Seattle about 90% of my existence. It just, got to the point where I'm like, I don't actually want to be uncomfortable 90% of the time. I would rather reverse that percentage. So over the years, I started to narrow it down to where I might want to live. And I ended up settling on Hawaii, and Hawaii has 4 main islands. And then it was, a bit of a process of narrowing down which island. And I finally landed on the big island of Hawaii about 4 months ago. So it was a dream many, many years in the making. And there was a lot of kind of holding the vision and staying committed to that vision and taking steps towards manifesting that vision. So it was a lot of work. It took a lot of sacrifice. I sold my house in Seattle that had been my home and my children's home for 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah, which was difficult to let go of that. I left much of my family there, most of my friends. And still knowing that it was the right decision.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's really interesting. And also tell us a little bit about your background, what you studied in college and what you currently do.
Yeah, of course. Ever since high school, I became interested in the science of chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a really good high school chemistry teacher, and he sparked that interest in me.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of ignited a passion. And again, I held that vision of becoming a chemist, and I stayed true to that all through, the rest of high school and college. And I did get a bachelor's degree in chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And I, manifested a career in the biotech industry.
Okay.
And eventually, the year that I was pregnant with my daughter, who's my second child, I got laid off from that job, which catalyzed my sort of journey on soul searching
Mm-hmm.
and self-discovery. There
Okay.
was a lot of, grieving involved about the loss of my career, which I did end up saying goodbye to.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned in some of your earlier episodes, everything is a blessing in disguise. Things do happen for a reason, even if we don't know what that reason is in that moment.
So true.
So for me, that reason actually didn't become clear for about a decade.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, after I lost that job, which I was very attached to, I created a whole identity around being a research chemist and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and eventually, I actually ended up doing like a complete 180. I used to work for a company that fed its pipeline into big pharma, the pharmaceutical
Ah.
industry.
Mm-hmm.
And where I ended up through my journey eventually is, like I said, a complete 180 from
Yeah.
that, where I'm about as far from the, American pharmaceutical industry as you can get.
Wow. That's amazing.
And during on that journey, I also pursued my passion for fitness, which I had kind of my entire life. So,
Yeah.
I studied Pilates and I have a certification as a Pilates teacher. I had been training in yoga for about 25 years at this point.
Wow.
I studied aerial arts and pole dance and ended up teaching those types of things. One of the
Mm-hmm.
highlights of my fitness career was getting to teach Pilates to Cirque du Soleil performers when they were putting on their show in Seattle. That was super
Yeah.
cool.
That is incredible. Wow. Okay. And so now that you're in Hawaii, or is it on Hawaii?
I think you can say it either
Either way.
way.
Okay. So now that you're in your dream place, what is
Mhm.
it that you're doing?
Right. So along that journey, also, I ended up getting essentially going to school and getting a certification as functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner,
Okay.
which catalyzed my sort of path to becoming a health coach. Health coach is a very kind of broad umbrella. It's a general kind of catch-all term for a lot of different modalities and experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that I started with was very much focused on food and supplements and kind of this holistic protocol that includes a variety of lifestyle factors and definitely food and supplements. So I did a lot of studying on that topic, which, got me exposed to a lot of other sort of professionals and kind of big name figures in that field. So what I've been doing is for about 5 years after getting that certification, I ran my own health coaching business with a previous partner.
Mm-hmm.
When that business dissolved, I started working for another functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner who's also running her own business. So
Mm-hmm.
um, that's where I am right now. And I have some more very exciting things in the works that will be my own offering.
Okay, that's wonderful. I'm really happy for you. Right now, you have recently announced on social media that you have created this dragonfly healing farm where, as I understand, you reside there, and it's a huge territory, it's a farm, and people can visit and stay there. And I think you are about to do retreats of all sorts. Tell us a little bit more about that and what prompted you to create this healing farm.
Yes, great question. Thank you for asking. I'm so excited about this because this is aside from, giving birth to my children, this is the biggest manifestation of my entire life.
Okay.
I searched, like I was mentioning, I'd searched for a place to live that's, warm and tropical and, a bunch of other kind of factors that I was considering.
Mm-hmm.
And for about a year and a half, I planned to move to Kauai, which is one of the other main islands of the
Mm-hmm.
state of Hawaii. And every time I went to Kauai to look for a house, the island just kept saying no to me. These islands are incredibly magical and incredibly powerful, and they give very clear messages. Yeah. So I was very much welcome in Kauai as a visitor,
Okay.
and that island did not welcome me as a resident.
Hmm.
So after about a year and a half of trying, I switched tracks and went to the Big Island, and this island immediately said yes to
Oh.
me. On about day two of looking at various properties on this island, I found this one where I now live,
Hmm.
and it's a gorgeous 5-acre avocado farm
Oh.
that is already in operation. And there is a vacation rental house on it. So yes, people
Hmm.
come and visit me. We have, whatever, paying guests staying here, but also friends and family are always welcome to visit. There's plenty of space here. So I'm in conversation with one of my dear friends at the moment about hosting an Acro retreat.
Oh.
And I do have grander visions for hosting a variety of other retreats and workshops and everything like that here because it's a gorgeous space. And the thing is, I didn't buy it for just me. I bought it to share with my community, with my friends and my family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a very magical place.
Wow, that sounds really wonderful. Definitely on my list of places to go.
Please do.
Yes. Now, the name Dragonfly Healing Farm. Why that name?
Yeah, great question. So about a year ago in very early January of 2023, I kind of hit the lowest point in my life, going through some, relationships and kind of many things came to an end. So I
Mm-hmm.
was grieving a lot and processing a lot. And at the very start of the year of 2023, I decided I was going to, you know, finish grieving, that
Mm-hmm.
give that process a chance to have closure and start my upward trajectory. And somewhere at the very beginning of January, I had this very powerful dream. I must have slept for probably like 12 hours. And
Wow.
I moved so much energy in that dream. Literally, one of the pictures fell off my wall. There's literally nobody
You're
else in the
kidding.
house. The cat was on my bed. There
Wow.
was no earthquake, nothing. One of the pictures literally like dislodged from
Oh
the
my
wall.
God.
I was moving so much energy in my dreams. And in that dream, I got a number of downloads, which I wrote down when I woke up.
Hmm.
One of them was a dragonfly, and it looked like a logo, not an actual live dragonfly.
Oh, okay.
A dragonfly does represent transformation and change. So it was very fitting for where I was at that point in
Huh.
my journey. Um, I got, some like a color scheme that went with it. I got a code in that dream.
That's
And so that's where the dragonfly healing was born. So I knew it was going to be dragonfly healing something. I just
mm-hmm.
didn't know at that time what it was going to be.
Oh.
And I didn't know that until about 8 or 9 months later,
Mm-hmm.
until I found this farm.
Oh.
And that's when I was able to piece the two together that, that dream was kind of like a prophecy for what was to come for me in the future.
Huh.
And this place that I found is such a healing, magical part of this island
Mm-hmm.
that, it was abundantly clear to me this was the dragonfly healing. place that I had seen in my dream at the very beginning of the year. And
That's
it just happens to be
unbelievable.
a farm. So that's how the name happened.
Wow, I love that story. It's really, I mean, it's unbelievable, but in such a way that it makes you think how mysterious but wonderful and amazing our universe is. And
100%.
right? And how when you learn to read the signs, how you
Hmm.
can do so much with that. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly it.
Yep. Everybody, please take note of Dragonfly Healing Farm and try to go visit or look it up for more information. But Natasha has also something else to share with us. And this is a new project for you, as I understand, Natasha.
Yep.
And you just recently got certified in
Mhm.
an alternative healing modality. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about it?
I would love to. So this protocol was developed by Kelly Brogan. She is a self-proclaimed renegade psychiatrist.
Mhm.
So she is an MD who also did a complete 180 away from the pharmaceutical industry over a decade ago. And I've been listening to her and learning from her and following her for about a decade at this point.
Mhm.
And I just deeply resonate with her rhetoric and her relentless pursuit of the truth,
Yeah.
of self discovery, of radical ownership of
Mm.
your choices, reclamation of health, and just kind of brutal honesty with yourself.
Yeah.
Uh, so all of that, deeply resonates with me as I've been following her lead for quite a while now. And a few months ago, she sent out an email announcing that she was starting the very first pilot cohort of certifying coaches to teach her signature 44-day program called Vital Mind Reset.
Mm.
And I had been aware of Vital Mind Reset for years, again, just, by following her.
Mhm.
And it does have some kind of revolutionary outcomes. It's the only diet and lifestyle program that actually has clinical outcomes.
Oh,
Because she's a psychiatrist, she did actually do like a clinical study, and
okay.
she published outcomes, which you can see on her webpage.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I had been sort of searching for something else to do. Like I mentioned, ever since I had that dream at the very beginning of 2023, I knew there was something else in the works for me. I just didn't
Mhm.
know exactly how it was going to manifest. So when that email came out, I was like, "Oh, this is it. This is the ticket. This is the program.
Mhm.
This is the modality that I've been waiting for." This is, sort of my passion,
Yeah.
and this is my gift that I can offer. Even though I'm not the creator of this program, I have, my own unique set of gifts where I can create and hold a container for people going through the program and guide them and assist them on their journey and just hold space for them in their reclamation and of their health and self-discovery. So I started that certification program last year in 2023 in September, and just got my certification in January of
Mm.
2024. So
Okay.
it's brand new. The
Yeah.
ink is barely dried, so to speak.
Okay, wow, that's really exciting. So did you actually go through that 44-day
Yes.
that okay, can you tell
Oh,
us about
absolutely.
that?
Yes.
Yeah, please
Yes.
share.
I couldn't possibly teach something
Right.
that I haven't personally
True,
experienced.
true, absolutely.
Yeah, it was exactly the same when I got certified as a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. I, created my own lifestyle, diet, supplement, exercise protocol, and happened to heal my back pain of 20 years.
Ooh.
That was a nice outcome of that. And yeah, with the 44-day Vital Mind Reset program, it was a journey of deep self-discovery and kind of coming into alignment with myself, my soul, my purpose, my mission. Even though that's not necessarily the intended outcome.
Hmm.
That being said, the intended outcome is very, very personal.
Mm.
It's literally anyone who's sort of ready to accept ownership of their choices,
Mhm.
reclaim their health, stop asking for permission to do something or not do something that feels in
Mm.
alignment for them, and come into alignment with themselves. I definitely felt that by going through the protocol. And another sort of a more, I suppose, obvious purpose of this protocol is it is called Vital Mind Reset for a reason. Is there is a sort of pretty strict 28-day diet
Mm.
protocol that helps you to literally reset your taste buds, your
Oh.
digestive system, your endocrine system, various other things by bringing your body back to food, as in like
Hmm.
real food.
Okay.
Not food like products, but sort of reminding your body what food feels like, what it tastes like,
Mm.
and yeah, what experiences
Hmm.
manifest from eating real food.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, I mean, I did look at the description of this diet plan and the kind of meditation and journaling that goes along with this.
Yes.
And I mean, it really spiked my interest. I'm not gonna lie, it does sound difficult at first because it asks you to eliminate a lot of
Uh-huh.
the foods from the diet that we're so used to, like gluten
Yep.
and grains and dairy and all the stuff that we really love.
Yep.
So, but how does that work? Do you eliminate it forever or just for those 28 days?
Um, According to the protocol, you eliminated for just those 28 days. And what happens after the 28 days is you come into alignment with yourself. I know I've said this before, and I'm going to
Hmm.
keep repeating this
Hmm.
because after the 28 days, many, many people realize that when some kind of food is in front of them and they don't feel like it's going to serve their body best, it doesn't
Hmm.
feel in alignment, and they simply won't want to
Hmm.
eat it anymore.
That's interesting.
So
Wow.
it's not like anyone is saying, you can't have this.
Sure.
It's not about that. It's more like give your body a chance, 28
Hmm.
days to reset, and then follow your
Hmm.
own internal compass to
Ah,
decide what it is that you actually want, what
wow.
food is going to serve your body, and what food is going to harm your body. And from that place, you can truly own your choices.
Okay. That makes sense. I want to do it. Sign me
Yeah,
up.
yeah, you should. I'll be happy to enroll you in my first cohort when I start offering.
Right.
My plan is to offer this as a group program.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the back end stuff is in the works right now as we
Hmm.
speak. I
Yeah.
am preparing, yeah, for creating a group container to guide people through, kind of my first cohort of people in my container going through the Vital Mind Reset. And I couldn't be more excited to offer this because for me as a health coach,
Yeah.
this feels so in alignment. That's why when the email from Kelly Brogan came out, I had literally zero hesitation
Hmm. Hmm.
signing up. I enrolled on the spot.
What changes have you seen in yourself after doing this mind and body diet?
Yeah, mostly just deeper alignment with my own truth. Um,
Okay.
it is very, very closely related, if not the same as self-love.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so the practice of self-love, that's partly what the daily meditations are for. It's dedicating a
Mhm.
little bit of time, and literally in this program, it's 3 minutes per day.
Mhm. Mhm.
Dedicating that little bit of time to yourself to sit with yourself. There are different, purposes for each week of the meditations, but the point is, um, either way, it's a practice of self-love. The diet component is a practice of self-love. There's various other lifestyle components that are all a practice of self-love. So that was probably one of the biggest lessons for me. Um, Learning how to love myself has been on my radar for a long time. And
Mhm.
that has been one of my most difficult hurdles personally
Really?
for me. Yeah. So that was a major sort of outcome of going through
Yeah.
this program for me.
Yeah, I mean, you are my cousin, and I feel
Mhm.
like I should know my family, but
Mhm.
it's interesting how so many people sort of hide, well, we hide our feelings really, because I
Yeah.
always looked at you as this tough go-getter that is so confident in herself. Just, I never would have thought that you needed to learn to love yourself.
Well, right back at you, cousin. I never knew that you were riddled with so much anxiety for
Yeah,
most of your life. There
I
you
know.
go.
I know. I hit it really well. Nobody
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah. To elaborate a little bit more on why I chose to go through Kelly Brogan's
Mhm.
program, being in her energy field has exposed me to so many other modalities and concepts. I have a journal where I write my
Mhm.
sort of like gems that I hear on her podcast with various, guests, various interviews that she has done. And it has filled my brain with so many of these little gems
Right.
that I think a big reason why I'm so excited to offer her program is so that I can expose other people
Mm-hmm.
to Kelly and her energy field and the people that she attracts into her circle.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much value. There's so many lessons to be learned there. And, as I learn them and integrate them, I can also sort of translate them in the way that they make sense in my head. And
Yeah.
perhaps that lands better with some
Yeah.
people and offer healing and ascension so we can so collectively continue to elevate the energy field of the humans, this
Yeah.
human existence. Yeah.
No, you're right about the collective part. I really think that if we all just learned to love ourselves and also love everybody else in this
Mhm.
world, I can't even imagine how much more amazing our world would be. And I feel like my mission, like I told you, in this life now is
Mhm.
to teach people how to love and how to find themselves and how to see beyond just the daily go to bed, eat, you know,
Yes.
procreate, whatever, repeat. There's so
Right.
much more to our
Yeah.
reality. Yeah.
There's so much more. Yeah. And I think I hear a lot of what you're saying. And I feel like, if we were offering some kind of coaching together or something like that, there would be a lot of complementarity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because while I 100% in alignment with what you're saying, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like my mission is sort of like right alongside with you, but not exactly
Mm-hmm.
overlapping. And it's to help
Yeah.
people step into their full ownership and authenticity and sovereignty.
Mm-hmm.
I work with mostly parents of younger children in my current job.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I hear a lot of rhetoric there where they're asking for permission, and
Really?
particularly asking for permission to do something with or for their children
Oh,
when they are the mothers.
wow.
Yeah, and it's so, so ingrained in the culture that it can be very difficult to see through that. And I think that's where I can show up as my most authentic self
Mm-hmm.
as a coach, as a guide, is to help people wake up from this, kind of foggy reality where they feel like they have to ask, the doctor or the dentist or the, whoever it is with,
Yeah.
some kind of presumed authority, letters behind their name or white coat or, whatever it is, some kind of title, where they have to ask them for permission to
Mm.
do something with or for their own children.
Yeah, I see
That's
what
where
you're
my
saying.
passion is, if
Uh,
you can't tell.
yeah, no, I understand. By the way, um, when was the last time you saw a doctor? How is your health with everything that you've been doing?
A doctor, like a medical doctor?
Yeah.
Mm.
I
I
mean,
honestly don't remember.
okay, okay. So,
Yeah, I don't remember. I also haven't been to like a dentist in a very long time. I see other practitioners. I work with, energy healers,
yeah.
and not even that much to be honest, but like an MD.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's been years, to be
Okay.
honest. Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, what I've been trying to relate in my episodes and my podcast episodes is that we can attain nearly perfect health, if not perfect, if we, live correctly, so to speak. I mean, of course, there's diet, and I will actually have an episode on my take on my point of view about dieting and what to eat and what not to eat and stuff like that. Um, I know you have tons of information on that topic.
Yeah.
Um, but also from my point of view, part of becoming spiritual is also becoming healthy because once you let go of so many emotions like resentment and blame and sadness and, all kinds of feelings, negative feelings and emotions that we kind of tuck away inside that have terrible effects on our health. Once you get rid of those and or know how to deal with them, right? You can also manifest great health. So it's interesting to see how the health manifests in your life also.
Yeah, 100%. As I mentioned kind of in the beginning, I'm very much not in alignment with the sort of medical industrial complex of the United States. So I don't participate in it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not even really on my radar. And I'll tell you what, I've never felt better in my whole life.
Mm. Yeah.
I dissociated from that line of thinking, from the kind of mainstream medical modalities.
Mm-hmm.
I cut ties with it, and I have never felt better.
Wow. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
this is the whole point of health reclamation that Kelly Brogan teaches, and I feel 100% in alignment with. And that's why I'm so driven
Mm-hmm.
to, do this kind of work is I can show up as my most authentic self,
Yeah.
guide people on this journey to the extent that they're willing to be led.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess it's more like holding space, not leading anyone. It's just holding space for people for self-discovery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Well, I congratulate you on all these new beginnings.
Thank
And
you.
I trust that you will succeed. I have faith in you, and I know you, and you're smart and you're beautiful inside and out. And I'm really happy to be sharing this podcast with you, and for you to be on my podcast is very special for me. So,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
thank you for your time. I'm going to leave in the description of this episode all the links and all the
you.
necessary information for people to find you, find your healing farm and your
Okay.
coaching.
As of the recording of this episode, my website is still in the works, but it is coming. Thanks for having me on your show as a guest.
Of course. All right. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. I'd like to leave you with a quote from a book called Medicine Woman: Reclaiming the Soul of Healing by Lucy H. Pierce. Our bodies speak. If you would only listen, they speak another language. The mother tongue is half the puzzle, the missing pieces you have been searching for, the how and why behind the symptoms you fixate on, the whole behind the healing, which cannot be found at the bottom of a bottle of pills. But you do not speak our language. My sick sisterhood, whose bodies have been felled by mysterious illnesses, bearing the arcane names of men long dead, to signify their suffering with no cure, no hope. The mothers who long for answers to the questions that their bodies are living, for solutions to the protest against this cold, hard world. Into their dry, hungry mouths are dropped pills, not answers, prescriptions and descriptions of symptoms, not cures or laws to halt the toxic corporate world that is allowed to carry on felling us like trees in the Amazon. Each woman is an Amazon, but she does not know it. Instead, she's treated separately, her pile of notes, her bills growing higher. Each one believes the sickness is hers alone. Each is sent home, ignored, tolerated, alone, in the darkness. Until one day, Medicine Woman arises within her, and there in the center of her pain she finds her outrage, her strength, her persistence, as she searches for answers. She finds the will to die to this world and the right to live a different life, where she is honored for the value of her soul, not the sweat of her brow. She begins to understand the messages her body is sending. Things are not right in here, out there. She begins to remember there is magic in her, the power to heal, the power to transform. Medicine Woman rises.